pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
School committee members, Superintendent Holmes, Mr. Sheminsky, distinguished faculty, invited guests, parents, and friends. Welcome to the graduation ceremonies of the class of 2001. As you sit before us today, here to honor these young men and women, I would like you to keep one idea in mind. I want you all to now think about and remember, during and especially following the ceremony, what an exceptional group of young people is graduating today. I want to make clear the pride that I feel as a member of this class, the class of 2001. The talent, accomplishment, and boundless potential within this body of students is extraordinary. Each and every one of my classmates has the potential to be a truly remarkable person, and to graduate as their peers is an honor and a privilege. So as my fellow graduates receive their diplomas, I ask you to look at each student as he or she walks by, and take the time to appreciate all the great moments that lie stretched up before each one of them. Take the time to realize their accomplishments and recognize the hard work and sacrifice that they have poured into the last 4 years. Take the time to behold the beauty and innocence of their youth, and think about the impact of their dreams and ideas on the world to come. I know I will. Thank you.
Good afternoon, and welcome to the graduation ceremonies of Class of 2001. I'd like to give a special welcome to the members of the school committee, Superintendent Holmes, Principal Kaminsky, distinguished faculty members, family, and friends. Only one thing has remained constant throughout my life: my family. Over the years, my family has served as a source of support, motivation, and most importantly, love. With this in mind, I would like to give a warm welcome to my brothers and sisters, John, Tom, Marie, Kathy, Kristen, Patrice, Paul, Kelly, Lisa, Kim, Bill, Mike, Tom, my nephew Michael, and my cat Geppetto. I'd especially like to thank my mother and father. To me, my mother is the strongest and most beautiful person in the world. I know I speak on behalf of all my fellow graduates and friends when I say none of our success could have happened without the love and support of our families. Regardless of size, type, or background, our families have loved and encouraged us. So thank you to everyone for gathering here today, and good luck to the class of 2001.
Superintendent Holmes, Principal Struminski, school committee members, members of our educational staff, parents, families, and most importantly, members of the class of 2001. It is my privilege today, as chairperson, to stand before this graduating class and bring you the greetings of the Wakefield School Committee. I have the additional privilege to stand before this graduating class and, as president, bring the greetings of the Citizen Scholarship Foundation of Wakefield, the largest community scholarship foundation in the United States, and one which in its 40-year history has given over $4 million to the youth of Wakefield toward their further education. When I get to speak at a gathering of people, I expect that everyone will receive the message in their own way. And I hope that I can give the message to one person where the seed from that message will make a difference in their life. That is my hope today. The message I bring today is that you, each and every one of you, members of the class of 2001, is a unique and special person. Within your 5 quarts of blood are 22 trillion blood cells, and within each cell are millions of molecules, and within each molecule is an atom oscillating at more than 10 million times per second. Every second, 2 million of your blood cells die to be replaced by 2 million more. Within your brain, a very unique structure, are 13 billion nerve cells to help file away every experience you ever have. And it has the ability to recall every one of those experiences. I would call that pretty unique and pretty special. Added to that is the fact that every one of you has your own unique signature in the form of DNA. Yes, you are very unique and very special, each and every one of you. Life, you will discover, is an exciting journey in growing and learning. When you were a child, you were dependent for virtually everything. You needed to be fed, you needed to be changed, you needed to be taught that a stove could burn you, and you needed to be put to bed at night. Most importantly, you needed to feel the love of those on whom you were so dependent. This is the bonding between parent and child. I am sure your parents will say that the way in which you bonded and the way in which you grew and learned was unique and special. It was, as befits a unique and special person. Then you reached those interesting years known as teenage. You expanded your knowledge of the world and grew in your capabilities. Slowly, or maybe not so slowly for some of you, you began to feel you did not need the help from the parents that you once did. You discovered you could do it for yourself. Who were these people who were trying to hold you back when you just wanted to go? Hopefully, you remembered that they were the very people you loved and bonded with in the dependent stage of your journey, and they will always be there for you. Nonetheless, you plowed forward and you became independent. You could do for yourself. In some cases, you knew all the answers. Well, maybe not all of them, but certainly a whole lot of them. Does 12 going on 30 sound familiar to any of the parents here today? You didn't need the advice of adults because you were an emerging adult. I'm sure that every parent here can relate to those teenage years, which technically at least, you are still in. And you know, if you were to ask them honestly, they would say in the long run, they were proud to see you become the person they always knew you were. Their love for you helped that process by which you became independent. Oh, by the way, during this process, you discovered that love is a wonderful choice we have in our lives. Your parents chose to love you and you began to choose to love others. You have begun to realize that love is an extremely important element in the human experience. Yes, independence is important. In many ways, it is your declaration that you are special and unique. But now I hope as you continue your exciting journey, you will take the time to learn one of the most important lessons that life has to offer. The lesson of interdependence and its great importance to your future. You have had a taste of it at this point in your life. It is when your uniqueness interacts with another's, and the result is something that neither one of you could have achieved alone. It is working together to achieve a common goal. It is what a sports team does to achieve victory. It is what a musical group does to achieve its wonderful sound. It is what a school committee does for the betterment of public education. It is what the Citizen Scholarship Foundation does to help young people attain a higher education. It is what you must do to become all that you can be. Your success in life will be directly proportionate to how well you balance these three elements of human relationship. You will discover that you will always be dependent for something, and that is good. You will discover that there will always be times when you must stand independent and make your own decisions, and that is also good. But the most important thing you will discover is that the strength of our society and the beauty of life is greatly enhanced when we live a life interacting with others in an interdependent fashion. I challenge each of you to continue your exciting life adventure. I challenge each of you to continue to learn and grow in your relationships. I pray that you will find those with whom you can work together to make a difference. And I leave you with Ralph Waldo Emerson's definition of success. To laugh often and much, to win the respect of intelligent people and the affection of children, to earn the appreciation of honest critics and endure the betrayal of false friends, to appreciate beauty, find the best in others, to leave the world a little better, whether by a healthy child, a garden patch, or a redeemed social condition. To know even one life has breathed easier because you have lived. This is the meaning of success. God bless each one of you, and may you go forth and be successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chetwin. Honored graduates, school committee members, staff, family, friends, and again, most specifically, our honored graduate. It's again my great honor and privilege to address the Wakefield Memorial High School graduates each year. This for my 8th year. In thinking about what I would say this year, it seems that the great rage this past year has been the television show Survivor. In many ways, you as high school graduates are embarking on your own game of Survivor today. Yours will not be a game ending in 10 weeks. It's the real thing. Have you thought about how you play that game? Do you in fact have a plan? Will it be your goal to win at all costs? In fact, will you outwit, outlast, or outplay? Or use a combination of these plus other skills you have learned? In fact, have you thought about how you will define winning? Let's for a moment think about the most recent winner, Tina Wesson. What qualities about her contributed to her survival? And why was she the final winner? As you complete high school, it might be useful even to think about those in your class who are the most honored or most recognized, and what skills help them be successful here today. I think it would be useful to review the 3 themes of that show. First, to outwit. There's no question that being bright is helpful, but it's more important that you be smart. And I define smart as that experience that you join with your intelligence. Some of you will outlast. And in and of itself, this will not be enough. Endurance is great, but fitness will prevail. Take care of yourself. Others will try to outplay, and I mean that literally. But that won't do it either, because certainly while you're playing, others will be trying to get ahead of you and survive. I'd like to think today that there might be 3 new themes that will be equally as important to you. And I will call those the 3 C's. First, displaying a sense of caring about yourself and others. This will assure success. It did for Tina Wesson. Secondly, we see that institutions and individuals that survive are collaborative. Your extracurricular experiences have taught you that a strong team of average players will always prevail over that one hotshot. The third quality is communication. Your increased ability to read, write, speak, and listen will be essential to your survival. I especially ask you to think about being better listeners. I'd like for a minute to think back to one of your elementary games of survival. Most of you have played many times musical chairs. Remember when the music stopped and the scramble was on to get a seat? This wasn't often a very pretty sight. The pushing, the shoving, the self-interest, and that win at all costs attitude was often ugly. There's a lot of controversy about that game, especially in Great Britain. In fact, per a journal article I read recently, the game has been eliminated in the British primary schools. It's been replaced with a new game, and the new game is one of inclusion, not exclusion. The new game still takes a chair away, but challenges the remaining group to find a way to seat all the players in the remaining seat. The final challenge, of course, is to find a way to put all of the players in one seat. What a great problem-solving experience that would be for our young people. One of inclusion, where maybe the small person would be very useful in that team. I see a few smiles from the parents and grandparents out here today. Well, they remember those days when they tried to see how many people they could cram into a Volkswagen or a phone booth. That was an interesting game of survival. Educators are challenging other games, like spelling bees, that focus on one winner and sometimes too many losers. Oftentimes these games, where there's one winner and many losers, develops the kind of anger and resentment in our society that we see today. In fact, I believe many of the terrible events that are happening in our country are a society bent on winning at all costs and the resulting disenfranchisement of many of our people. And thus that anger comes out. Graduates, I regret that I've been a little bit serious this year, certainly on such a happy day. But I thought I'd take my last opportunity with you to challenge you to a new era of caring, of collaboration, of communication, and yes, of inclusion. I challenge you to go out and improve the human condition. Give more than you take and leave the world a better place. Congratulations to you and your family, and best wishes for a great and productive life.
Mr. Chetwin, members of the Wakefield School Committee, members of the faculty and staff, parents and friends, and graduates of the class of 2001. This is the 154th commencement at Wakefield Memorial High School. And I can't help think each year as I stand before a graduating class, as we all have today, and I congratulate the class president for striking the theme today of the importance of family. When I think about graduation and I think about education, I always think about the sage father that brought me up, who offered me advice that worked, that was pragmatic, advice that upon graduation I like to share with all of our students. Dad was pulled out of the 6th grade by his stepfather. He was 11 years old, and he was put into a factory to help support his 4 older sisters, mother and father. 11 years old, in a textile factory. A man who loved education, who cried when he couldn't go to school, and made up his mind that when he had a family, that would never happen to his children. That if he had to wash floors, if he had to work 3 jobs, his sons would go to college. And so it was in my household that it never was a question of, are you going to college? The only question was, where are you going to college? And the advice was simple. Be loyal, he said. If someone is willing to offer you a position or a job, be loyal. And you know, son, how to get that job? The way to get that job is to work hard, to be the first to volunteer when everyone else is walking out the door, and never to watch the clock. And then you know what he said, and I'll never forget? He said, someone is going to be watching. Someone is going to be watching your willingness to be the first to help out, be the last to leave, to help that company or operation achieve their goals. And so I share Pa's advice with you, the graduates of 2001. Value education, value your family, work hard and be loyal, and never watch the clock. For God knows the years go by ever so quickly for all of us. Thank you.
A few weeks ago, my physics teacher was explaining to my class an argument between 2 physicists over the nature of reality. I really don't have much understanding or interest in the field of physics, but the argument itself was intriguing because it seemed like that between 2 philosophers, each assuming the role of God. While one physicist believed that everything is predictable, orderly, and applicable to a series of universal equations, the other seemed to believe that there is a more chaotic aspect to the universe, something faster than the speed of light. He believed that changing one's knowledge of a situation meant changing reality itself. This concept transcended all laws of physics, thus eliminating previous scientific certainty. In every sense, reality had been changed. My friends and I often find ourselves driving at night with no destination in mind, wasting gas and time. We drive in circles on familiar streets, discussing the mundane as we silently contemplate the philosophical. We sit in warm seats amongst books and empty coffee cups, peering through dirty windows at our empty town after dark. Though each night's route may differ, we inevitably find ourselves at home, in the comfort of familiar cotton sheets, ignorant of the fact that in a few months our ritual will end and everything will have changed. Our fate seems controlled because we only allow ourselves to see so much through those windows. Our sense of reality becomes as limited as our views, as though we might never need to accept the future if we keep driving. We drown in this deception, just as we do in our egos, our fears, our pseudoscientific assumptions. Obviously, driving and physics have no connection, yet there seems to be one, and the vague semblance of association between the 2 ideas is torturing me as I sit in my backyard, concerning myself with the future. It's cloudy outside, sort of weather that seems only to amplify the green of the trees, and each slight breeze disturbs the leaves and branches, changing their direction at random. Suddenly the air becomes static as it does before a storm, and I feel as though I am sitting in Eden, patiently waiting for paradise to be tragically lost. When the argument between the two physicists eventually ended, scientific innocence was lost and universal perception was permanently altered. Reality as it had been known was shattered and reconstructed, its replacement offering only a disturbingly honest sense of chaotic disorder. It had been determined that nothing is constant, that the universe is volatile, that the lovely certainty of everything that surrounds us is elegant but arbitrary and can be altered completely by our knowledge. As I think about driving with my friends, I begin to wonder if we have become so comfortable that we have escaped the obligation to think, or rather to challenge that which we have assumed will always be true. Our outlooks may become darker, more honest, or perhaps obscured by our reason and emotions. We are incurably optimistic, like innocent children, expecting fate or a set of intangible rules to orchestrate everything in our lives perfectly. We continue to drive in our concrete circles, like electrons following their perfect paths, waiting for our static worlds to collapse or vanish and a new reality to introduce itself. Are we as ignorant as Einstein or merely naive? Sitting alone in my backyard, I realize that everything in my life seems to be converging before reality is torn away and I must begin again. At such moments of quiet revelation, life, in some naively optimistic, quantum mechanical way, seems to acquire paradoxical order and meaning, like harmonious chaos. Past becomes present, and present is consumed by the future. And the future, the unknown, is something elegant and arbitrary, something beautiful. Thank you.
Flying cars. Back in the 1950s, science fiction writers dreamed in the year 2000 we would be driving flying cars. In his visionary 2001: A Space Odyssey, Arthur C. Clarke imagined a world in which trips to the moon would be but mundane experiences and computers could control and outwit humans. Although there are no flying cars or vacation resorts on the moon, the future that we, the graduating class of 2001, have dreamed of has finally arrived. With this graduation day comes the opportunity to take a confident step forward into the world outside of our hometown of Wakefield and our town's public education system. Some of us will take this step forward into higher education or college, some into the realm of the armed forces, and still others into the workforce. Our public school educational career within the town of Wakefield climaxes in today's graduation ceremony. Together, we have moved from kindergarten to elementary school, to middle school, and finally to high school. This is the moment we have anxiously awaited for the past 13 years. This day that we have dreamed of and looked forward to always seems so distant. Surely a goal to strive for, but still always an island on the horizon of tomorrow. Well, the future is now, and our present is filled with all of the promise, all of the hope, and all of the opportunity that we have ever imagined. The lives that we have lived of, the lives that we have dreamed of, are now closer to our grasp. It is now that we must seize our moment to make the most of our opportunities. With every step, we should be moving forward toward attaining our goals and dreams, and each step that we take will be based upon the firm foundation of education that we have been given in Wakefield Public Schools, and upon the ideals and the values that we have learned from our families. We must stride forward into our future with confidence, with courage, and with conviction, always remaining true to the ideals that are our true foundation. We must never forsake our ideals. One loses his identity when he sacrifices them. We should look back at high school fondly, but not sadly. Our greatest accomplishments lay in the years to come, as we decide how to use the education we received here. We will cherish our high school years as a happy past as we reach forward toward our next goal in building our future. High school will be the springboard into the next stage of our lives, just as middle school was for high school, just as elementary school was for middle school. What will our futures hold? In a 1968 speech given to young South Africans on their Day of Affirmation, Robert F. Kennedy expressed the challenges that await those who wish to impact the future. The future does not belong to those who are content with today, apathetic toward common problems and their fellow man alike. timid and fearful in the face of new ideas and bold projects. Rather, it will belong to those who can blend vision, reason, and courage in a personal commitment to the ideals and great enterprises of American society. Our future may lie beyond our vision, but it is not completely beyond our control. It is the shaping impulse of America that neither fate, nor nature, nor the irresistible tides of history, but the work of our own hands, matched to reason and principle, that will determine our destiny. Some men see things as they are and say, why? I dream things that never were and say, why not? Robert Kennedy was correct. It is only with our own hands that we can shape our future. Only through our own strong, confident actions and our dedicated hard work we can achieve the greatest dreams that we have envisioned. Our future, whether it be designing flying cars or planning trips to the moon, will only be what we make it. Perhaps even we, the graduating class of 2001, will never live to see the type of future that Arthur C. Clarke envisioned. But today, June 10th, 2001, our future has arrived. Our future is now. Congratulations, class of 2001. I wish you the best of luck in all your future.
Good afternoon. The final day has arrived at last. After today's ceremonies, each and every one of you can look forward to your futures and never have to look back at your time in high school again. Many of you can't wait to be through with high school, and to help you out, I will try to keep this speech brief. However, there are others out there who don't want this day to end, bringing a sudden close to their beloved high school years. You loved everything about high school: the friends, the sports, the clubs, the dances, the classes, well, maybe not the classes. Perhaps you're too sad to leave everyone you know, or perhaps you're afraid of what your future holds in store for you. To help you out, I have a little piece of advice. Don't take the end of high school so seriously. Although many will tell you otherwise, your high school years are not the best years of your life. High school is just a means to an end, a transitional phase between middle school and the real world, between childhood and hopefully maturity. High school is not life. You have your entire lives ahead of you. Most of you are attending college in the fall. Others are attending the workforce or joining the military. But no matter what you do, your lives lead away from this building. The first step towards achieving the most out of your futures is to put this building behind you mentally and emotionally, as well as physically. High school has ended. So what? Everything ends at some point. Vacations end, relationships end, years end, and lives end. They are all supposed to end. If nothing ended, how could anything else begin? So cheer up. It's only a very minor period in your life that ends today. The world will not end until a much later date. Besides, why fret over the end of something that does not matter much to begin with? Most of the information you learned these last 4 years will be forgotten by this time next spring. Most of the students gathered with you today you will never see again. I'm even willing to bet that by the end of the summer, not one of you will remember what I'm babbling about right now. 20 years from today, you will look back on these months, and high school will seem quite insignificant compared to all your future accomplishments. Now, I know what you're thinking. You will never forget high school. You will always keep in touch with your friends and remember all the fun you had together. You will forget, though. You will move on. Everybody does. You'll meet new people, make new friends, see new places, but ultimately, you will move on. And when you do, you will realize that high school doesn't really matter at all in a large scheme of things, and you'll be too preoccupied with your lives to even consider the sadness you feel today. So good luck in the future to all of you. I hope whatever you all decide to do makes you very happy. I hope, above all, that some of you will prove me wrong someday, and that some will remember high school as more than just a blur of classes and faces, enjoyed and then dismissed like a half-forgotten dream. But in case that never happens, try to remember at least one little lesson. Life always moves on, but if you don't move on with it, it just might pass you by.
Good afternoon. Members of the school committee, Superintendent Holmes, esteemed faculty, members of the community, family, my fellow founding members of the ASC, and my fellow classmates who have made the last 13 years of my life unforgettable. Today, I'm going to pass this key and I'm going to go give it to somebody else. Seems pretty simple, doesn't it? But you must understand. For years, the passing of this key has been a tradition of Wakefield High School, a representation of a standard of excellence and achievement now being inherited by a new generation of students who are ready and willing for the task at hand. It is this standard that the students in this community should strive to model. Within this key are the goals and accomplishments of your budding lives, waiting to be unlocked by your own hard work and dedication to your success. It gives me great pleasure to bestow this key and the standard that it represents to Ms. Katie Favell, President of the Class of 2002.
On behalf of the Class of 2002, I would like to accept this key and look forward to all of the challenges that come along with it. I'd like to thank all of the graduates for the exceptional examples that they have bestowed upon us, and wish them all the best of luck in their future. I just hope that the Class of 2002 will lead our school with as much honor and pride as they have.
Please come forward. It has been tradition for the last 7 years for an artist who has displayed outstanding talent to produce the Student Council-sponsored class banner.
Steve Benedictus was chosen by the art department to design and paint the Wakefield High School class of 2001 banner. The 2001 class motto from Pink Floyd is printed on the banner. It reads as follows: Long you live and high you fly, smiles you'll give and tears you'll cry, and all you touch and all you see is all your life will ever be. This quote represents the aspirations of the class of 2001 to take responsibility, to reach goals, and to approach the future with confidence. Thank you, Steve, for all of your hard work and dedication to making our banner a memorable representation of our years here at Wakefield High School.
It gives me great pleasure to present the following scholarships and awards to outstanding students of the class of 2001. Beginning with the Ann Lee Award, awarded annually to the highest-ranking senior in the graduating class by the West Side Social Club. This award was presented first in 1955, and this year is awarded to Mr. Daniel Campbell. Thomas A. Edison Award was established in 1956 to honor excellence in English. Reverend Emerson, after whom this award is named, served on the Wakefield School Committee from 1867 to 1869. This year's recipient of the Thomas A. Edison Award is Miss Jennifer Lynch. Dr. Robert Dutton Scholar Athlete Trophy, presented to a senior girl and senior boy who have been outstanding in athletics and have maintained the highest scholastic standing. First prize this year, female, is Jillian Bergman. Dr. Robert Dutton, first prize male, to Mr. Nathan Wood. The runner-up awards for the Dr. Robert Dutton Scholar Athlete. First runner-up, female, Ms. Colleen Curran. And the runner-up male for the Robert Dutton Scholar Athlete Trophy is Mr. Brian Erickson. American Legion Awards are awarded annually to 2 boys and 2 girls in the senior class who exemplify honor, courage, scholarship, leadership, service, and patriotism. This year, the first prize to a male goes to Mr. John Zagaria. American Legion Award, first female, Julia Hinsman. The second place American Legion Award to a male goes to Mr. Kevin Leahy. And the second place American Legion Award, female, Erin Burchell. The Wakefield High School Music Boosters Scholarships, awarded by the boosters, whose goal is to sustain and promote the performing arts. Graduating seniors who plan to continue their education in the field of music are the recipients. And at this time, we'd like to call to the podium this year's Music Booster Scholarship winners. Mr. Robert Wu. Our second Music Booster Scholarship recipient, Cassandra Loomis. Our third Music Booster recipient, Emily Cosentino. And our final Music Booster Scholarship recipient is Miss Tracy McLaughlin. The Wakefield Repertory Theater Joe Green Memorial Scholarship is awarded to that senior who has demonstrated dedication, commitment, and excellence to theater while at Wakefield High School. This year's Joe Green Scholarship goes to Mr. William O'Connell. Association Prize recognizes excellence in the study of United States history. This year's recipient is valedictorian Daniel Campbell. The Social Studies Department Frank Favorite Award, named in honor and memory of Mr. Frank Favorite, who taught social studies at Wakefield High School for 23 years. It recognizes academic achievement with civic awareness, community service, and achievement in the area of social sciences. This year's Frank Favorite Award goes to Miss Lisa Pagliuca. Basketball March Voyages Memorial Award is awarded to a senior who's participated in youth basketball and moved on to high school varsity play. This year's March Voyages Memorial Award goes to Christopher Turfrey. Memorial Award. Established in 1988 in honor of Coach Bernie Plansky, this award honors the accomplishments of the WHS Division II Girls State Basketball Championship team. This year's Bernie Plansky Memorial Award goes to Elizabeth Labriola. And finally, the Melrose Wakefield Hospital Auxiliary Award, presented to a deserving senior who will be entering the field of healthcare. This year's Melrose Wakefield Hospital Auxiliary Award goes to Miss Courtney Strong. This time we also want to announce the recipient of the Wakefield Education Association Scholarship, which will be awarded at another time. The recipient this year, Miss Kyle Foley. Congratulations, Kyle. This time I'm going to ask Mr. William Chetwin, Chairman of the School Committee, to join me on the dais. Principal of Wakefield Memorial High School, I certify that those students who will be receiving diplomas today have met the requirements of the Wakefield School Committee in the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The President of the Class of 2001, member of the National Honor Society, Stephen Bonaparte. Vice President of the Class of 2001, member of the National Honor Society, Mr. William O'Connell. Secretary of the Class of 2001, member of the National Honor Society, Mr. David Havlick. Treasurer of the Class of 2001 and member of the National Honor Society, Mr. Nathan Wood. Valedictorian, the top academic student in the graduating class, member of the National Honor Society, Mr. Daniel Campbell. The second-ranking student academically, member of the National Honor Society, salutatorian Edward Bertrand. Today's class essayist, as elected by the faculty of Wakefield High School, member of the National Honor Society, Miss Jennifer Lynch. Class Marshal of the Class of 2001, elected by his peers, Mr. David Laspina. President of the Wakefield High School Student Council, member of the National Honor Society, Miss Julia Hintzman. The remaining members of the class of 2001 will be announced by class president Stephen Bonapane.
John A. Agnew. Dean Jason Anchetta. Mark Elias Andrew. Mark Anthony Assini. Michelle M. Barato. Jessica Lynn Baez. Leo Berezovsky. Member of the National Honor Society, Julian Patricia Bergman. Michael William Bergman. Kristen Michelle Bernier. Stephen James Pacelli. Antoinette Isabel Boncado. Thomas T. Boudreau. David Paul Boudion. Renee Christine Botticelli. Chad John Bowden. Member of the National Honor Society, Jason M. Brooks. Andrew Patrick Brown. Member of the National Honor Society, This diploma will be presented by Mr. President. Erin M. Julia Burchell. Cody M. Burke. Stephen Christopher Burke. Valerie Jo Busias. Sharon M. Cabral. Micah John Canistaro. Member of the National Honor Society, Michael J. Salvo. Vincent Mark Capalupo. Christy Marie Carano. Nicholas John Carboni Jr. Richard Ryan Cardelli. Crystal John Carroll. Michelle Renee Carter. Member of the National Honor Society, Tina Marie Sososimo. Thomas Eric Cherry. Member of the National Honor Society, Nicole A. Chittabong. Jennifer Lee Collins. Member of the National Honor Society, Kristen Marie Colson. Member of the National Honor Society, Ryan Conley. Dylan W. Kahn. Gregory Paul Thompson. Mark J. Correa. Member of the National Honor Society, Emily Elizabeth Constantino. Gina Marie Cresta. Caitlin Ann Crocker. Michelle Lee Curley. Member of the National Honor Society, Colleen Elizabeth Curran. Kelly G. Curran. Member of the National Honor Society, Tara Ann Daddario. Ralphie F. Vittori. Member of the National Honor Society, Carrie Ann Davis. Member of the National Honor Society, Stephen Scott Benedict. Member of the National Honor Society, Joseph Peter Giesa. Michelle Pauline DeRoe. Rachel T. Devlin. Matthew Charles DeChico. Michelle Lee Inano. Patrick L. Dingle. Elizabeth Karen Sashino. Satin Dixon. Jeffrey Ryan Dawes. Patrick Jackson Darden. Member of the National Honor Society, Jeffrey Edward Dolan. Gregory Allen Joel. Member of the National Honor Society, Daniel John D'Onofrio. James Philip Doyle. Joel Driver. Kristen J. Edwards. Janelle Lynn Egan. Bosa Aketo. Member of the National Honor Society, Ryan John Erickson. Jessica Megan Finder. Angela Pauline Ferguson. Melissa Nicole Fiore. The next diploma will be presented by School Committee Member John Bovis. Mr. John. Member of the National Honor Society, Kyle Elizabeth Ford. Member of the National Honor Society, Stephanie Alexis Frangoulis. Ryan Michael French. Stephanie Lynn Gladys. Member of the National Honor Society, Jean Marie Gaia. Member of the National Honor Society, Daniel Nicholas Giacalone. Member of the National Honor Society, Leah Marie Jamboresti. Crystal Ann Giorgio. Mark Patrick Jusso. Tina M. Guadi. Amanda Louise Hardy. Samantha Briscoes. Member of the National Honor Society, Lee Ann Hardy. Rachel Leah Hayes. Sarah Rose Hayes. Member of the National Honor Society, Kenneth John Hickey. John David Hoffman. Lauren Noel Holmgren. Sharon P. Holston. Troy Holston. Member of the National Honor Society, Lauren Marie Howard. Frederick Charles Allen. Vanessa Lillian Allen. Jonathan Roger Hughes. Melissa J. Hunt. Jen M. Eichlich. David Charles Ibsen. Member of the National Honor Society, Peter Joseph Iengo. Member of the National Honor Society, Sophia G. Hinnerfield. Kirk Peter Imes. Lane Marie Adams. Russell L. Johnson. Member of the National Honor Society, Desiree Ann Kelly. Patrick James Kenny. Jason Francis Knight. Nicholas Alexander Kozak. Eric Howard Crafton. Member of the National Honor Society, Elizabeth A. Lapiola. Devin M. LaFava. Jane M. LaRoche. Elizabeth Marie. Kevin Michael Levy. Patrick Sean Levy.
Here we go, Steve!
Member of the National Honor Society, Stephen Paul Levy. And Victoria Lewandowski. Cassandra Faye Lomas. Michael C. Luongo. Member of the National Honor Society, Erin McGuire McDonough. Matthew James Chapman. Ryan David McNeil. Member of the National Honor Society, Mark Timothy Martinez. Gregory Edward Marullo. Member of the National Honor Society, Stephanie Ann Mazzoni. Jonathan Guy McCarthy. Stephanie A. McCarthy. Joseph William McDonald. Lisa Marie McDonough. John Charles McGregor. Member of the National Honor Society, Tracy L. McLaughlin. Ryan M. McLennan. Member of the National Honor Society, Chris McManus. Andrea McCrae. Ryan A. Medeiros. John Matthew Middle. Stephen Cole Miller. Christian Peter Moore. Diana Mulcahy. Daniel Joseph Musser. Irene Mizalakis. Edward Negan. Nathan Adam Nelson. Dante Nagro. Matthew J. Oates.
Jenny!
Sarah J. O'Connor. Adam D. Orchowski. Lisa Marie Paliuca. Jenny Lee Paiva. Member of the National Honor Society, Thomas Brian Pomerino. Member of the National Honor Society, Rachel M. Parrott. Carrie L. Person. Member of the National Honor Society, Stacy E. Dobro. Christopher Michael Pierce. Member of the National Honor Society, Megan Elizabeth Towers. The next diploma will be presented by School Committee Woman Ms. Patricia Bugle. Gina M. Cosiano. Member of the National Honor Society, Alyssa Quinn. Kristen Lee Raphael. Member of the National Honor Society, Amy Lynn Rellahan. Marla C. Boach. Timothy K. Robley. Laura Ann Roberto. Paula Roscone. Matthew Louis Racino. Member of the National Honor Society, Andrew Smith Russell. Richard Russo Jr. Member of the National Honor Society, Kathleen Ann Ryan. Tara Jean Suenaswaso. Laura Michelle Scanzani. Leanne Marie Scarano. Amanda L. Seeley. Member of the National Honor Society, Tyler Drake Sheen. Monica Marie Sheridan. Clifford Paul Silva. Kelly Ann Silva. Amanda Caitlin Smith. Brooke Allison Smith. Christopher Michael Smith. Darby Elizabeth Smith. Francisco Dwayne Smith. Jamie L. Smith. Justin L. Smith. Member of the National Honor Society, Allison Marie Silver. Adam Mark Stoffer. Christopher Michael Slade. Jennifer L. Stewart. Member of the National Honor Society, Margaret M. Stratton. Member of the National Honor Society, Courtney Ann Strong. Mark Charles Sullivan. Melissa J. Sullivan. Jennifer Elizabeth Taggart. Michael B. Tarr. Andrew Wayne Taylor. Justin Taylor.
Christopher Michael Turk. David Isaiah Turk. Member of the National Honor Society, Oshkosh Bunty Tucker. Ashley Jean Thornton. Sheila Josephine Trainer. Elin Marie Tully. Member of the National Honor Society, Bailey Badalato. Michael Vaughn. Julie Ian Reed. Pete B. Waterman. Amy F. Weaver. William Winchell. Keith Jeffrey Wong. Member of the National Honor Society, Robert E. Wu. Finally, member of the National Honor Society, John Williams Zagara. Okay, I'm going to try to keep this quick because I know it's hard. On my last day of high school, I experienced a moment that I will never forget. Many of the seniors had gathered in the cafeteria and were counting down the last seconds of school. As we reached 0 and hugged each other, everything went into slow motion. As my friend and I were walking down the hall to leave the school, out of the corner of my eye, I saw a student walking beside me. I had never seen him before. He looked a little awkward, he was wearing glasses, and he looked like a freshman. He looked at me and asked, "Are you two seniors?" As I told him that we were, he said, "I just wanted to say good luck in the future." Now this may seem like a small moment, one I would forget about easily, but for some reason it touched me. This is what high school is about, small moments, brief interactions with people who have an impact on us. We have been confined in one building for 4 years, and the memories and relationships we have created are priceless. In the future, try to enjoy every moment. Enjoy the rest of today, enjoy the graduation parties, and enjoy the summer. And I just want to say to the class of 2001, good luck in the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in one final round of applause for the graduating class of 2001.